He drugged me. Story time. A couple years ago, when I was at this bar, I started getting random drinks sent to me. And I had no idea where they were coming from, but I wasn't about to turn down a free drink. So I just started drinking them, and by the time I knew it, I probably drunk like 4 or 5 drinks. Well, after my last drink, a couple minutes go by, and this guy comes up to me. And he was pretty handsome, and he was like, "Did you enjoy the drinks I sent you?" I was like, "Yeah, thank you so much." And he was like, "Great, well, let me order you another one." So he orders a couple drinks for us, and we sit there and talk, and everything's going well. But then I started feeling really dizzy, and the entire room started spinning. So the guy gets really concerned, and he's like, "Are you okay? Do you want me to take you home?" And before I could answer, he grabs me and starts walking me out the building. But before we leave, this random girl grabs me away from him. And she's like, "I seen him slip something in your drink. Are you okay?" And he starts running away.
Am I the asshole for screenshotting messages guys sent me and sending them to their mothers? I'm an 18-year-old girl who is in college at the moment, and I've been getting bullied and harassed by 3 guys in my class. They are messaging me online with gross, harassing messages and nude pictures that I'm sure you can all fill in the gaps without me going into detail. I should have reported them or just blocked them, but I had enough. So I screenshotted every message they sent me, and I found their mothers through their Facebook pages and sent screenshots to them, including an explanation of who I am and how their sons have been bothering me. Their mothers were horrified and shocked by what I sent them, explaining what was going on, and all 3 of them were on my side. Some of my friends think this is genius and exactly what they deserve, but some of my other friends think I took it too far and that it was out of line to put their mothers into it, and that I also don't know what their home life is like. Am I the asshole for doing?
I'm attracted to my father-in-law and I kind of want to hook up with him. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It's sending me on Instagram. My husband and I met a little over a year ago. We actually met on vacation and we happened to live in the same city, so we decided to go on a date when we got back. 2 months later, we got engaged. My family was completely against it though. My parents thought it was way too quick for us to get married. But here's the thing, I'm 32 and I was desperate at that point for somebody to just ask me to marry them. And looking back, that was completely wrong of me. My parents were so against it that when they met my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, they told him that we should just date a little bit longer before we even decided to get engaged. But of course, eventually we made the decision on our own and my parents just had to deal with it. By the time we had gotten engaged, I had only met his mom. His dad traveled a lot for work, so he was pretty much never home. So here's a little backstory on my husband. He was born in the same city I was, and his parents had him when they were 14 and 15. They were incredibly young. So his parents were more like his friends. They had so much fun and hung out together. It was always a really good time. We decided to have an engagement party, and that's when I met his dad. And it was infatuation at first sight. I'm attracted to my father-in-law and I kind of want to hook up with him. Disclaimer, is not my story time. It's sending me on Instagram. I decided to start flirting with him a little bit more. I kind of wanted to see what he would say. My parents-in-law invited me and my husband over to their house for barbecue. So I decided to wear a thong bikini. My father-in-law was grilling in the backyard and my mother-in-law was inside making a salad. So of course, I took off all my clothes and I pranced around the pool in my thong bikini. I positioned myself perfectly so that my father-in-law had a great view of my ass. I also went up to him and started talking. I would touch his shoulder every now and then. That's when he said, "If I didn't know any better, I would think that you're flirting with me." Then he smiled. I almost died. I laughed with him too. And then my stupid husband came outside. That was 2 days ago. You guys tell me, but in my opinion, it sounded like he was liking it. For the rest of the barbecue, every time I would turn to look at him, he was always looking at me, so I knew it was working. But now I'm like, what's the goal? Do I really want to ruin my relationship with my husband and ruin his parents' relationship? Or do you think we can keep it on the down low?
I had to prove this lady wrong. Story time. Yesterday, me and my cousin went to Sephora so that way she could go get makeup. Bria Janae, I'll put her at right here. Go check her out. She's beautiful. But while we were in there, she was picking up all this makeup, so I figured I'd be nice and hold some of the items for her. Well, unfortunately, some lady came into the store with her son and her daughter. Her daughter had to be in her teenage years, but her son was like maybe 7, 8. And he sees me holding the makeup and he comes up to me and he's like, "Oh my God, are you a boy who does makeup? That's so cool." And I was like, "No, I don't do makeup. This is actually for my cousin." But then his mom steps in and she kind of snaps at him a little bit and she's like, "Don't say that's cool. Makeup is not meant for boys to wear." And of course he was sad about it. So I decided to be annoying and I was like, "Oh, really? Because some of the brands in the store are owned by boys in beauty. So clearly they can wear makeup." And the little boy smiles and his mom pulls him away. But after that, I decided to buy makeup and actually try to do my makeup for the very first time. And I put it on my second channel, Ty.Beauty. Go check it out and tell me how I did.
Okay, story time how I got my face tatted in an African household at the age of 18. Okay, so I've been planning on getting one since I was 16 years old. And I just turned 18, bitch. What a better time to do it than now. Honestly, one day I was just sitting there and I was like, I'm gonna get this shit tomorrow. And I got it the next day. The pain level was like a 2 out of 10. I was actually gonna get it a little bit higher, but I was like, I don't know about all that. I was just a little scared. So I was like, you know what? Just leave it right there. The only people that know about it is my mom and my little brother. Me and my mom made an agreement. We were like, bitch, we're not gonna tell that. We're not gonna tell my dad. But if he finds out, I don't think he's gonna do anything because he didn't like when I got piercings either. And I have several piercings all over my body. I can't cover it with makeup because it's brand new. So I have to wait a couple weeks. So when I do go around my dad, I kind of just like cover it with my hair, or I just act like I'm scratching my eye. He's definitely gonna be mad when he finds out. But the plan is to never let him find out. So some people are gonna watch this video and probably snitch on me because y'all love to sabotage a bitch. So go ahead and do that. I started matching my dad's energy a long time ago. He met his match. So go ahead.
Am I wrong for giving my daughter's vegan friend meaty... Sorry. Do it again. Wait. Okay, Bisma. Am I wrong for giving my daughter's vegan friend meaty meals during sleepovers? My daughter and her friend Em are both 12 years old and like to have sleepovers every now and then. Em's family maintains a strict vegan diet where she isn't even allowed to drink milk. That's what fucking veganism is. Yeah, okay. Her parents are nice people, although a bit on the neurotic side. So whenever she's over, I always make a big meaty meal for them. Last weekend, I made some cheeseburgers and steak for them on the grill with a big glass of milk. Em absolutely loves it and always politely asks for more, which I happily provide. Em is a bright young girl and she's a good friend to my daughter, but I notice how much smaller and paler she is compared to my daughter. I think it's likely tied to her family's diet. Not for you to decide. For snacks, I give them some of my Venetian turkey. For breakfast, I typically make a big plate of scrambled eggs and bacon, again with a big glass of milk. Despite her size, Em always wolfs down whatever I make, and I have to say, every time she leaves, it looks like she has a healthy glow to her. What? I know I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I think Em is a bit malnourished. Nothing against vegans or anything. She knows she'll get in big trouble if she tells her folks. I think she fibs a bit to her parents about what she eats here. So it got me thinking, am I wrong for letting my daughter's vegan friend eat meat at my house? Fam, like, some of these things, like, you can't. I'll give you this. You had good intentions. That's it.